Yo, what is good, yo? It's your boy Ty back here with another video, and in this video today we are going to be talking about the new Invincible cards that are coming to MyTEAM tomorrow. So we're just going to read through 2K21 MyTEAM's Twitter post here. We're going to talk about the Tim Duncan card that they've already dropped the card art of, what that means for the content we could see tomorrow, what other cards could we see, and what should we expect from these specific cards. Now, before we dive into all of this, if you are new to my channel and have not yet, please consider smashing that subscribe button as we are on the road to 70,000 subscribers. So Invincible cards are coming to MyTEAM. These powerful dark matter cards represent some of our favorite and greatest NBA players. To tip off these cards, we're including Invincible cards for Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, Kobe Bryant, and Kobe Bryant in tomorrow's enshrined release. Now, what does this mean for MyTEAM in general? Well, the word invincible is the big question mark. What does invincible mean in this year's kind of game? And for example, guys, this is the card art we're looking at with this Tim Duncan card. If I zoom in here, maybe we'll just get the picture. So this is what we're looking at as far as what the card art's going to look like. Now, if you ask me what I think the Invincible card art's going to be, or what the Invincible cards are going to be within MyTEAM, I think it's going to be a version of the GOAT cards that we saw last year in MyTEAM. So we saw the GOAT cards last year. I checked MyTEAM database here, and I'll kind of show you our first GOAT card. Obviously, we saw the Kobe earlier. We saw the Kobe at the end of April, I think. End of April, I think. And then we saw our first GOAT Larry Bird, our first GOAT in packs on June 12th. So our first GOAT in packs last year was on the 12th, so of June, which is a following month. But this Tim Duncan on it'll be May 14th would be tomorrow. Seems a little early to me to be releasing GOAT cards, but if we look at the cards we've gotten, at least the recent cards, how far away is that LeBron from being a GOAT card? That's really what we have to ask ourselves. And are we that far away from the GOAT collection? I don't think we are, and so that's why I'm kind of thinking that, I mean, what else could Invincible be? I mean, you look at the Tim Duncan, the first thing I was thinking is, are they just going to be positionless cards? And obviously with Tim Duncan being the power forward center that we see here with this card art, that's not going to be the case. We obviously see that he is a power forward center in this card art, and so that's kind of what to expect as far as Tim Duncan. Kevin Garnett, expect him, the same Invincible dark matter, to be the GOAT Kevin Garnett card that is a dark matter. Now, Kobe Bryant, what could we expect as far as Kobe Bryant is concerned? I expect probably a shooting guard, small forward, which Kobe's not great at the point guard anyway, at least right now. So a shooting guard, small forward, Kobe Bryant, that is, again, one of those Invincible GOAT type of cards. Now, is it confirmed that these are going to be GOAT cards? I don't think it's confirmed. But I mean, what else could it truly be? And I personally love the card art. I know a lot of people don't love like the Tim Duncan in the background. I think it's iconic. I absolutely love this card art and what 2K did with it. But that's just kind of what I'm thinking is a GOAT type of collection. Even if you scroll through the menus, guys, you can see, I mean, there's a picture of Kobe, Tim Duncan, and Kevin Garnett all by each other. And under it says Hall of Fame season. So that's just something to kind of think about within each and every one of these cards. If we're wondering who else could we see, I mean, you go back to 2K MyTEAM's Twitter. These are great NBA cards, like our favorite and greatest NBA players. So these cards are going to be cards that were actually good in the league. They're not just going to be random players. Like, we're not going to see LaMelo Ball probably as a part of this set. We could see, Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, Kobe Bryant, guys like the great players in the league that obviously we have seen. Like, I would say Shaq, I would say Kareem, obviously those types of players, great players within the game. You think of just who is in the Hall of Fame. Those are the types of players that we could see. Now, I'm just going to go back to NBA 2K20 MyTEAM database to just kind of give you guys other ideas. Now, I don't know if all of the cards within this set are going to be GOAT cards. That's kind of what I'm trying to remember and think about, is because here's the thing. This is only our first drop, right? These powerful dark matters represent some of, we're including Invincible cards for tomorrow's enshrined release. So is this, I mean, what does enshrined even mean? Like, enshrined. That's a hard word for me. So I know enshrined is preserved in a form that ensures it to be protected and respected. Okay, so that doesn't mean too much, but I do think we are going to see more of these drops within the future. Like, this is just the first drop that we are going to see at least in my opinion. I don't think this is, to tip off these cards. So that means this is the first one that we are going to see. We're going to see a lot of these in the future. So we're only probably, let's go back to the GOAT, Kareem, and Magic that we did see. Maybe we'll get a couple of these enshrined Invincible cards, and then we'll see like another type of promo with it, like we saw last year with our first GOAT kind of drop. We saw the Jimmy Butler, we saw the Shaq. So I wouldn't expect there to be, 5 or 6 GOAT cards drop tomorrow. It wouldn't surprise me, how many Fridays do we have left of 2K? That's what you got to ask yourself, and it's not that many. I think it's right around the 15 range, and they'll probably drop content for 12 or 13 more of those. So then we got to be thinking, what are we going to get with these cards, right? How many of these drops do we have left? And we have, quite a few drops left. So you look at Tim Duncan, KG, and Kobe. I do expect those 3 cards maybe to be the only GOAT cards we do get this season. Or I need to stop calling them GOAT cards. Invincible cards that we do see this season. And with them, just expect a certain content drop. If we get a certain set with it, like we saw last year within this was just the first one. We saw a bad Shaq with Jimmy and Chris Webber and Rashard Lewis. So we could expect, and obviously there's a Danny Manning in there. And then I wanted to go to our second kind of GOAT drop. Where was this at? Like even last year, they didn't drop all the GOAT cards at once. Steph Curry was just kind of in his own right there. And then we got GOAT Shaq as far as the Flash set. So we could see, these GOAT cards with the Flash set. We could see these GOAT cards with a different type of thing. It all just depends. And obviously our last one was all GOAT players. But this is just, and you can see even last year how spread out they were. We saw this GOAT set with Larry Bird. Then obviously we saw which he was a part of Spotlight Sims. Then we saw Showtime. And then we'd go a while, we'd see out of position without any GOAT cards. And so that's what to kind of expect as far as 2K's kind of time frame. These might be the only 3 GOAT cards we see, or Invincible cards that we see this entire season. That wouldn't surprise me at all. But I just expect it to just these Invincible cards to be spread out over time. Like, this is going to be a point guard, small forward, Kobe Bryant. Who knows? We could get a GOAT point guard, small shooting guard later on Kobe in the year. But it's hard to predict what's necessarily going to come with these specific cards. Again, when this tweet first came out, I was thinking Invincible. I was like, well, Invincible, like enshrined release. What could this possibly be? It's like, are we going to see a Kevin Garnett that is positionless, a Tim Duncan that's positionless? Because I didn't know, with the word Invincible, you just never know what 2K has planned. But I'm kind of in between on this. Do I think it's too early to drop a GOAT card? I absolutely do. I do think it's too early to drop a GOAT card because, I mean, the best card we have, or the card with the most Hall of Fame badges right now, I can look. I mean, LeBron's got, 49 Hall of Famers. So, I mean, I guess if you get down to it, it's not that far away he's not that far away from being a GOAT card, just his base card. He's not. You add, I think some of the GOAT cards had 62 Hall of Famers last year. So if they give Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, Kobe, upper 50s, low 60s Hall of Fame badges, it is what it is at the end of the day. I think last year there were less badges in the game, but I mean, it's just kind of the era we're in. Now, are any of these cards specifically game breaking? That's the question you guys are probably going to ask me. And what are these cards going to look like? Well, here's the thing about Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant's always been a card within 2K that I've never been the biggest fan of. Now, again, Kobe, he's okay if they give him a release on very quick. Current gen, that's going to make him a lot better. Now, the big thing is if they change the dribble style on next gen, that's really going to make Kobe Bryant that next step up. But this Kobe really didn't lack anything. I mean, what's the difference between this Kobe Bryant and the Kobe Bryant that's going to come? Like, this Kobe Bryant can play point guard. Obviously, he's going to have a 99 3-ball. But look at the important stats. Like, there's not much that Kobe can honestly improve outside of, the rebounding, interior defense, stuff like that. But just don't get too carried away with just kind of these Invincible cards. No matter how good they are, 2K can only make them a certain amount of good. Like, they can't juice them any more than the card allows them to. So for Kobe Bryant, I think it can be pretty good, especially with the release on very quick. But there still is a limit to it with his release, and if he has that same dribble style, then that's something to keep in the back of your mind. Now, we haven't seen a Tim Duncan since the Diamond. Now, the thing about Tim Duncan, guys, is this release was chicken on normal timing. This release on very quick could be very, very solid, but with the thing with Tim Duncan, again, He's going to be a GOAT card, so all these are going to be Hall of Fame badges. All the stats are going to be basically 99. If you play him at the power forward, guys, I think he could be very, very solid, depending on the dribble style for next gen. Obviously, you know, the moving behind the back, if they give him Pro 3, they're moving crossover Pro 2. We could see a Tim Duncan that's really, you know, one of the best bigs in the game. Now, is he going to be Bobo's level? That's the thing for me. Bobo's level. I don't think Tim Duncan, even if they make a GOAT Tim Duncan card, is he going to be better than this card right here? I mean, that's really what you got to ask yourself. On current gen, is he going to be better than Giannis? On next gen, is he going to be better than Giannis? That's just what you got to ask yourself. And I think it's going to be hard for him to be. It all just comes down to that release. Now, Kevin Garnett, a guy who I think has the most potential of all of the GOAT cards. Now, again, this Kevin Garnett outside of the 3-ball is basically a GOAT card. The card can do it all. Obviously, the Hall of Fame range extender is going to be nice on him. A few extra playmaking badges, whatever the case may be. Now, again, the big thing for Kevin Garnett is his release going to be on very quick, or are they going to change the base at all? Because if not, I mean, that's a big kind of red flag. And then on next gen, obviously, you want that dribble style updated. Maybe some better size ups and stuff like that. But none of these cards, in my opinion, are going to change the game dramatically. You look at the cards that they're dropping. None of these cards are you know, I shouldn't even say LeBron James. But none of these cards are the top cards in the game. Like, none of these cards are a GOAT Kareem, for example. A card that's going to massively change the game and impact how it's played. That's kind of what I mean when I say, like, crazily impact the game, or like even Hakeem Olajuwon I think would be better than each and every one of these cards. But if you wanted me to tell you guys who I'm most excited about, definitely Kevin Garnett, but Kobe Bryant's obviously a hype beast. Tim Duncan's a pretty big hype beast. I mean, guys, the favorite and greatest NBA players, not only for this set, but for the future of my team. Absolutely massive that they did drop the Invincible set. Oh my goodness, 2K just released the Kevin Garnett tweet as well. And again, power forward center, I absolutely love the card art, bro. I love this card art a ton. One of the best big men in NBA history, run with the big ticket tomorrow. Absolutely incredible. We got Tim Duncan. We got Kevin Garnett. Obviously, next is going to be Kobe Bryant. But a lot to be excited about for tomorrow, guys. Drop your comment down below. You guys think it's too early to be releasing these cards if they are GOAT type of cards? Or do you guys think the time is now? Let me know down below in the comments. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe if you are new. And as always, man, I love you guys. And have a blessed day.